Real-Time Video is an educational charity which specialises in the use of video as a tool for educational and personal development with groups in the community.
By putting in a series of pictures together and sound. Instead of thinking of it as a camera, think of it as a person.
What's your weight from day to day? Blimey, it's my skin to play. Insurance men wearing safety caps, singing "We Are Wearing That."
What Real-Time does, which is different from the sort of conventional, video company that goes and makes films, events or activities or whatever, is that we work groups of people to actually put the film together, and they do all the recording and they come up with ideas. There's sort of two sides of it. Yes, we are working with people, they are gaining skills, filmmaking skills and making films, but we're also using video as a way of them exploring the situation they're in, maybe looking at ways they might make changes in their lives or changes to the situation around them. So there's the research element, and using video as a sort of, an action research tool is quite important and key to the way we work.
In my mother's house when I was growing up, my mother had a thing about time. Well, her thing about time was that she was late everywhere. And so she used to set the clocks around the house at different times. So we had a saying in the house, so if you said what's the time to someone, they used to say, what the time was, and then you used to have to say, is that clock time or real time?
You want to stop? How many years have you been council tenant? 30 years.
We've been under a private landlord, and whatever we asked to be done was never done.
Never done.
They came into me and they said, now what do you want painting in your house? The council came and asked me if they would paint my place. Now I think that's excellent.
After I left university, and I'd had a few jobs, and we were in the middle of a recession, so there wasn't very much going on. I was doing stuff in Reading, working for Community magazine, so I worked for a sort of free newspaper called Red Rag, which kind of did listings and political polemics and things like that. It was the 80s.
Yes.
Do you say your prayers before you go to bed?
Yes.
Do you go to bed on your own?
Yeah. Oh.
What do you think of politics today?
I think Mrs. Thatcher's rubbish.
Who do you vote for?
And that's a secret that only Mrs. Thatcher knows.
And I was quite interested in doing some video, I guess because I was interested in communications. I did printing, I did silkscreen printing and poster design and a bit of design work.
I was unemployed at the time. I just left my job in London.
What steps do you think should be taken to ensure future provision for the unemployed?
I met Clive at the Centre for the Unemployed, and he taught me how to do silkscreen printing. We became friends, and he told me he just set up this organisation called Real-Time, and he didn't have a clue about organising the office, and I said, oh, I can do that standing on my head. And then after the baby was born, that's Liam, my eldest son, I took him along to Real Time because then it became like 1 day a week, and I just used to take him in the carry cot, put him under the desk, and he stayed there. And then I just did my work, and I was involved in promoting independent videos, and we used to have video screenings, and we used to make posters that we put up around town.
Said that they were expressing their own uniqueness.
At the point where I first met Real Time, I was kind of getting involved in community arts and finding out what community arts was. Real Time being one of the kind of major organisations doing community work within a creative context meant that they were quite influential on me in terms of the ideas about what community arts is and how it works and what it can achieve. Working with Real Time helped me to hone ideas for myself about what I was doing within the arts and why I wanted to do participatory arts and working with people.
Welcome to our programme. We'll be looking into how Redstone has changed over the years, if it's changed at all. See what you think.
But we're actually putting the people that we're working with in a position of being the filmmakers, being the people doing the research, the people finding things out and exploring things for themselves. So rather than the end film being sort of our idea of the situation that they're in or the community that they live in, it's their own representation and their own ideas about how to show that to other people and what the important elements of it are. We worked at a rehab centre called the Old Hall, and I think before I went in there, I thought that the people we were working with might be quite resistant to wanting to share their stories or wanting to sort of open themselves up or even want to make a film. But actually, once we sort of got in there and they realised that they were going to be in control of recording it and in control of what they were saying, they used it as a great opportunity to try and share their experiences with other people and try and, from their point of view, make a difference to, other people that were maybe having drug or alcohol problems. They drove the ideas, going to a police station and filming in a police station, some of the sort of drama ideas they had, some of the ways that they were just asking each other questions.
I was always in trouble, probation, breaching it. Just had to do crime really to support my habit. I was working for a bit, but you can't really keep up a job with a habit. That's when I started running drugs around for people. My girlfriend Vicky, she was using it at the time. She was both out shoplifting and doing this and that. She died in 2000 from a heroin overdose.
They were able to be much more honest with each other than I would have been able to be, in terms of asking them questions. So it was really sort of, that model provided a way for people to be much more open than they would have done with an outside, production company coming in.
Being out there on the street, having no hope and thinking where you're going to get your next drink or a packet of cigarette, and picking up cigarette butts off the street and stuff like that. It's not good, it's not healthy.